This video, I'm rating communities, and I can't lie, in these fan bases there are sub-communities in them, like gaming, and yeah, some can be good and some can be awful, like really awful. And that's what I'm getting into today. And you know what? Here's my first point, the Minecraft community. I've actually done tons of research to give you my premium rating, so these are the positives and negatives. The good part is that you get to play with friends, find new people, have fun on mini games, all that stuff really, and you can even learn new stuff like PvP, coding. But one thing I can't forget is the mods, especially Crazycraft, which was actually so cool back in the day. Like, that was actually good. And one last thing is that it's the easiest game to stream. But there aren't positives without negatives. See, the Minecraft community is nice, but it can be very toxic, especially with the PvP community and the massive servers, which are actually recommended to stay away from. Toxic players are usually in the competitive minigame sub-base, full of crybabies that are being annoying and just toxic all the time. It's a nightmare. With multiplayer, there's servers which are paid to win, which just takes the fun out of grinding when you can just pay to get better things that are better than other players. The worst thing of all is a doxing problem, and you know, it seems like these days any Dream stan can just cancel and dox you for saying something bad or giving an opinion on Dream, which is actually, it's just insane to me. Anyway, I'm giving the Minecraft community a 7.5 out of 10. And yeah, I'm giving it a chance at least because I'm part of it and I've been playing for a very long time. And now, the next community. This has to be one of the weirdest communities and probably one of the most toxic. The one thing that's most common is the power scaling, which is really controversial in this community. As such, people saying that Goku is planetary, or Naruto is universal, or Ichigo is planetary, which is weird, but what can you do? It's an anime community after all. I can't forget the sub-community, which is Dragon Ball. Now, I can say very well from Saiyan Scholar on YouTube, by the way, that the community is full of illiterate people and some that apparently may not have even watched the whole series, only really YouTube clips, but still argue with people, as with the One Piece and Naruto community has really toxic individuals. Also, apparently the One Piece and One Punch Man community are the most negative fan bases compared to others. But honestly, out of the big three, here's some context. The big three are Naruto, One Piece and Bleach. This is because they all came out at around the same time and have gotten very big in the community. Don't confuse it with Dragon Ball being in the big three. Think of it as the father. The most toxic is the Naruto fanbase, considering how much hate it spreads. The last bad thing I'll get into is the shipping problem. My Hero Academia, the weirdest fanbase in the community. I believe that this fanbase has too much shipping and too much weirdos who are actually unbelievable. They ship people who are underage. Like, what? They shipped a 15-year-old and a 7-year-old. I really just don't get this series, man. I don't know, man. Now, to lighten up the mood, this community does have its moment. You can discover good anime like the big three, which is actually good. Even cool conventions like Comic-Con, where you can cosplay and see your favorite actors and other stuff, which is really cool, like sneak peeks of anime coming out very soon. And one really cool thing about the community is the fan-made stuff, like animations and manga. For example, Komiage on YouTube. This guy is so legendary for the fan manga he makes, like many people including me. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, I recommend watching him, especially his Ultra Vegito series, UV for short. In conclusion, I rate the anime community a solid 6.5 out of 10. Okay, the next community is going to be...
Nah, Jid, tripping.
You know what? I'm gonna start with the good part. TikTok is easy to use and really anyone can understand how to use it. Even old people know how to use it. A lot of creative trends and challenges happen on there and everyone can join in, so you don't really get FOMO, basically fear of missing out. And some of the videos on there are fun to watch and entertaining. Not to mention, people use TikTok to raise awareness about important issues and even help charities, which is pretty cool actually. And now for the bad stuff. Basically, it's a toxic fan base where weird stuff happens and the content on there is no good for every user, including young people. Literally, young users are exposed to stuff on TikTok which is just not okay, and the challenges too. Ever heard of the coronavirus challenge? Yeah, it started on TikTok when lockdown began, or I don't know, and there's way more challenges even worse, but I'll be here for a million years if I say it all. Now, I wanna say there's people that are mean online, but if we're being real, there's never not gonna be people that hate what you do online or people that are mean, because you know, that's really just a fact. But anyway, in conclusion, the TikTok community is 5 out of 10, and yeah, that's half, you know, half and half. Now, next community will be... the thumbnail community. So I got points from other people and there's a lot of info. To make this a lot easier, I'm gonna do the good and bad part from each person as one section, and I'll do that as YouTube chapters, so in case you get bored or you want to skip to the other section. Okay, so guy number 1. Big thanks to Alfred for giving me the info. What he said is that the community is pretty cool. There's friendly people and it's not too toxic. Overall, it's pretty cool. Chroma says it's a really oversaturated community and very few artists that he knows and learnt from are original. Nowadays, people really just copy and paste of thumbnails, and people generally take the creativity out of the design in the thumbnail community, because then they try to mimic and then miss the details, which ends up making it look bad. Also, the price of thumbnails are low and that thumbnail artists should really be getting paid $15 to $20, but in my opinion, Bltck opinion, I don't know about that, since at the same time there are people that get scammed and are owed a lot of money for thumbnails, but on the other hand, many can't really afford to pay so much thumbnails. This guy is my idiot thumbnail artist, but stick with me here on his take. He says that the community is brain dead and that some people are very greedy and just want money. Also, that there's nothing wrong with making a paid thumbnail. Now, what his take said really contradicts Chroma's take of how he says people deserve more money. It's a crazy parallel, but what can you do? This guy, Flawed, my previous thumbnail maker for my old videos. Pretty good guy, but yeah, let's get into it. He says there's two parts of the thumbnail community. The good side is that there's nice people and that they take thumbnail making seriously and can be found in many discords. It's generally a nice community to be a part of. The bad side is that there's people that don't really care, and for example, they leak GFX packs, scam people, or give poor feedback on beginners' work. It's the same with clients as well. Guys that think everything is free and guys that actually pay. Subscribe to @Celltop on YouTube. Here's what Celtop said. Getting help or feedback is extremely hard due to toxicity. Basically, when asking for help, when something looks bad, the usual result is just people laughing at you instead of helping you. A lot of times, even if they do help, they do it in a very condescending way, which is why a lot of people are getting demotivated. Okay, now it's time for the final take, and it is going to be... Now, Lazi wrote a lot about the community, which is really good, so yeah, enjoy. Lazi says that the community is pretty bad. There's still a lot of nice people, but the overall community is a rock bottom. People give away paid assets. As such, pretty recently he was on another server and it was giving away a paid GFX pack for free, which is just crazy. Imagine the work it took to make that GFX pack as well. Also, that in all honesty, originality with thumbnail makers no longer exists. Like every single thumbnail looks the same. List of problems. 3, 2, 1, go. Number 1, originality doesn't exist and most thumbnails look the same. Number 2, becoming a thumbnail maker is now near impossible since well-known or casual makers are really the only people that get commissions. Number 3, the whole concept of it is really boring and not exactly fulfilling. It's quite literally making the same thing over and over again. Number 4, the community overall is dead. A lot of friends are quitting and some are probably going to be leaving the community soon. And number 5, thumbnail makers are starting to get scammed. Like such speed and all, but there are so many small creators who also scam their makers. It just makes it less enjoyable. There are a lot of smaller ones and some that he may have not dealt with himself. Overall, the community sucks. And Lazi himself might leave the thumbnail community for something else like editing or banners, but that's if something doesn't change soon. Guys, if you've sticked this far into the video, I want to say thank you so very much, as it's taken me just so long to make this video, literally 3 weeks. And if you can hear from my voice, I'm literally sick while recording this right now, and I'm very sorry for that. But yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you end up subscribing. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.